This episode of the Stickers and Scuffs podcast has been brought to you by RE/MAX Jack. Jack provides a friendly, customer-driven service in search for homes and provides excellent details on the market, values, and trends in buying and selling. Jack has been able to work with Cam on his search and always makes himself available when he has a question. RE/MAX Jack will help you if you're looking to buy or sell a home within the GTA. He's who Cam K trusts to find his next home, and he should be yours too. Remember, call RE/MAX Jack and start to pack. For more information, go to remaxjack.ca.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Cam K back with you, Graydon Bunn, and I'm so privileged to finally say another Cam is joining me on the podcast. Cam times two. This never happens. It is an honor and a privilege. Sorry, Alex. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome Cam Thomson to the show. Cam, how are you?
Not bad, my friend. How are you doing?
As a fellow Cam, obviously, we are the bright spots in the gloominess that is the world today. We've also got Alex Stewart here. And Alex, one of the things that was awesome was that we got to see a car come to life this year. One that was on the big screen, but was now on the short tracks of Ontario this year. Alex, you got to run your Russ Wheeler scheme this year. Alex, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I
got to jump in quick before we get to the bones of the interview. I don't know if the editing staff can put the two cams up top so we can have dual overhead cam on the show.
I think we could do that right now, actually, if it'll let me. There we go.
Stack them up.
We got cams right now, man.
Yeah.
Stack cams.
Not allow that.
Yeah, we got to have dual overhead cams on the show, right?
I mean,
a little more jam from the cams.
Yeah.
It's not something that I get to see that often, is that there's a racer named Cam, and he's got the last name Thomson.
With no P.
With no P. That's my biggest pet peeve, man, is everybody calls you Cam Thompson, or it's Don Thompson, and there's no P.
Yeah, it's like an S on Muskoka. There's no Muskoka.
Put that on your racetrack, on your race car next year, Cam. There's no P.
Just a big P with an X through it.
I have to do that.
Right? Everybody looking at your rear bumper, and it says no P on the back of it. Perfect.
Well, someone wipes it off.
Yeah, well, I wonder who would do that.
I don't know.
Oh, God.
So let's talk about the Cam in the room here. Cam, the last name, you have racing royalty in your family, eh?
Just a wee bit.
For those that live under a rock, your relation to Don Thomson is?
My father is Don Thomson Sr. My half brother is Don Thomson Jr. We share the same dad, not the same mom, so close, but not quite.
So you're going to end up being a 5-time CASCAR champion by the end of your career, right?
I mean, if somebody wants to provide the ride, I most certainly will do that.
Home Hardware, get on that 28 car.
Hook
I
up
would look
the
pretty sharp.
It would.
I mean, do you do a lot of home hardware stuff, though?
Not really, but if they give me a sponsorship, I might have to.
Ah, there we go, right? There we
Build a
go.
race car out of wood.
Yeah, you get to carry. Yeah. Yeah, he gets to carry the wood around the racetrack. Oh, that's something else that you could put on the back of the car. I'm carrying wood here. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're gonna have to put like explicit ratings on this episode.
Don't you worry, buddy. We've had those for a while.
True enough.
I made Jomo had to add some, so try not to be
calm.
Jomo, that's so nice and calm and so nice and polite. Jomo had to add an expletive on his rating because Cam Thompson was on the show. Is that what I'm hearing?
Apparently, but from what I heard, it was the most listened show. So I think I did something right.
I mean, yeah, I think so. And of course, Alex is on the show right now with showing off his Pinty's hat, which I've actually never seen that hat.
Riley has that one too.
I got it like 2 or 3 years ago at Casa.
Yep, Riley did too. Nice. I was going to say, I'm digging the lid.
I was going to say, standing in line and probably in front of each other, right? Back when, right?
We got it right from Cherry.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you got Alex. Didn't you get yours from Sherry?
No, I was sitting in the stand celebrating my birthday, and they were giving out hats that day.
Nice.
Love that about that racetrack, man. You guys, did you get to race at Casa at all?
I mean,
You got what?
I got the flag there for the Oscar series.
See, that's pretty cool.
I
got to help out multiple race cars.
Nice. Well, I mean, you guys having some sort of a part in the renaissance of that place is kind of something you can hang your hat on, though. I mean, as brief as it sadly was to have Jukasa back, I mean, to take part in something there has got to be pretty neat. I mean, it was awesome just to camp there and see a bunch of races there.
Yeah.
Let's get into the discipline here, boys.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Let's
big
go,
quiz, buddy.
Our Cam here has been coming off the top rope at you, Alex, right from get-go here. Let's start off with you though. Let's talk about the Russ Wheeler ride and your racing passion, and tell us about your career to date.
So my father used to help with like Shaw's back in the day with their what is now the vintage mods.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just called hobbies back then. And ever since me, my brother, and sister were born, we've always been at racetracks. And then, well, I guess last year, 2 years ago, we'd had the Mazda 6 and an Enduro. And I jokingly was like, hey, if the car survives, I'll race it next year. And all it was they blew the rad in it. So we just put a new rad in it, new bumper cover in it, painted it, and that's how I started.
Nice.
We killed that car on purpose, and we built this one. And that luck this year was very odd.
Yeah, I'd like to say the car lasted how
Somehow.
long? Yeah. So how much did you encounter this year in terms of damage to that car? Because it looked like it took a couple hits. I mean the one that I saw it, I remember it was actually facing the wrong direction, and I imagine that was probably the worst hit to it this year.
There was 2 pretty good hits. The first one was way at Delaware opening night where the tire came off and hit the wall and you flipped the car. And then we sat there the whole Sunday contemplating fixing that car or building a new car, and we ended up just fixing it because we were like, well, what if we win? That's going to be quite the story. And
I did
then
too.
near the end of the season, Spencer Riddle got loose in front of me, and then I went to go up above him, and he overcorrected and put me in the wall and suffered more damage.
It's always a question with these cars. Regular passenger cars. So how much damage can they take? We know the bone stock guys, you guys are nuts. Like literally both of you guys are absolutely nuts. My favorite type of racing. And I didn't know about the division until Delaware this year. Really, no idea about it. And it just looks like the most fun. It really it looks
Big
like
time.
you don't have to do much. I mean, Graydon's going to be in one of these cars next year. We've already told him he's doing it. So just
It's
first off,
happening.
take it easy on him. First off, don't be spinning him out. But one thing that you guys obviously in those divisions, you're with amateur racers, right? Like these guys might not have the experience of racing week in and week out. So these cars are pretty durable, I would assume.
Well, they're as strong as your regular street car. Like the only thing we're allowed to put is basically a cage and kind of a front hoop if you need it. Or
Right.
if you have a fuel cell, you get the back caging part too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and so your car was what again?
Mine was a Cavalier.
And Cam, what's yours?
I got a Pontiac G6.
All right,
Cobalt.
so you got to hear history. History. Where, Cam, does your car come from?
My car came from Flamborough Speedway last year. It was actually the championship car from that place. Bobby Mercer ran it last year. It never won, which I don't know how it won a championship, but it never won there last year. So they raffled it off at the end of the year. Wade won it. And
Off
then
my number.
I came up to about April and went, "You got a car?" And he sold me that one. So that's how I got my car.
So
Well, technically, we were fighting over who's getting what car.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a little bit of a battle. I had a choice between a Cobalt and a Cavalier, so I took the one that was already built, luckily. I'm kind of glad with this.
I don't know. I think if you had the Cavalier, you probably would have won the championship.
Probably. They like weight, but so does my Cobalt.
Yeah.
We're going to try again in 2023, I think.
Well, you got a couple of wins last year, right, Cam?
I collected 7 of them in my rookie season.
That's it?
Nice.
It's as far as I got.
Track wonder.
Well, better luck. Well, I guess you can't do a rookie season over again, but as I say, better luck next year.
Sophomore season, go for 10 wins. I wouldn't complain at all.
Nice.
And also, Alex can't call me a one-track wonder because I was doing better than him at colors. So
Yeah, my car was also broken.
Yeah. Yeah, we ended up being on the car for the first time at Colors, and I felt so bad. Because it was I mean, I don't typically know like the in and outs behind vehicles, but man, I could tell you were having a time at Colors, right, Alex?
Well, Friday, I went from, I think they said third fastest car to Saturday being like the 5th slowest. And we have no idea what even happened. It just started like fuel cutting.
That's what I love. I love it, but it's just not like Cup Series where you're just like, oh yeah, there's nothing wrong with these cars. They never break. How boring. Right?
Yeah, my
I kind
car
of
always breaks.
you look at them the wrong way.
Well,
And that's kind of the thing when you're taking
Yeah.
production cars and entering them into a race mode where they're subjected to like sustained RPM. They're kind of getting beaten around a little bit and it can foul a sensor and stuff like that. And you know how electronics and new vehicles go, like one thing correlates to another and then the thing decides I'm not going to freaking run anymore. And then it can ruin your day if you don't have a code reader or whatever, right?
Well,
Yeah,
even
like-
with my car, you can't really even use a code reader because there's only the wires that we need. That's all that's in the car.
Okay, right.
So the check engine light's always on, and it has like 80 codes.
We
Where
got a work truck or two like that too, where it has the check engine light because it's like I don't know if it's there or not.
Just put tape over it. It's fine.
Exactly, that's how you do it.
Well, you guys both got experience at several different tracks this year. We're talking weekly events. You're weekly out of Flamborough, right, Cam? You're out of Flamborough?
Yep.
Yeah. And Alex, where were you out of this year? Flamborough as well?
Technically Flamborough.
Technically Flamborough. But you got out to different places. What's your sense, both of you guys? We'll start with Cam here as to how the fields are looking and how, I mean, I really think it starts with how strong Delaware's bone stock division is. But definitely, I think towards the end of the year, Flamborough was starting to look pretty stacked as well. So how healthy, Cam, do you feel that the division is?
The division itself is very healthy. It's the trying to actually get the cars to the racetrack, though. Like, Delaware every Friday has 40 plus cars, and when you go to Flamborough on Saturday, we had an invitational this year, and we had 9 cars show up.
And it was all Flamborough cars.
Yeah, it's very touch and go. But then for like Memorial Night, we had like 30 Pier stocks show up.
So Cam, same thing. Okay, so you're saying we only got 9 cars out there. Is it a situation of people not willing to make the trip? Is it payouts? Is it because I know that's a touchy subject. Is it gas prices? Like, really, what does it, or is it just that the other tracks are offering a bit better of a product? Like, it's a tough bit because I absolutely love Flamborough Speedway. It is one of my favorite tracks. I kind of wish Pinty's would go back because we didn't get a full experience there. So what do you think that is?
From my thinking, I think it's a mix of everything. We're with Flamborough, we're also competing with Sunset every Saturday, where it's bigger car count, I believe better payouts. You're always fighting other tracks, and that's probably the worst thing for it, in my opinion.
I mean,
yeah,
Alex,
just geographically speaking, yeah.
What was that, Cam?
What do you think about that? What the kind of the tough situation is with these? Do you feel, again, like Cam said, the division's healthy, but it's just a matter of getting cars to the track?
Yeah. So, I know a couple people, I want to say maybe 10 people, said that they're going to start following me around because I don't really like staying at one track. So, traveling around, having fun, just going, learning new tracks, driving with different people.
Yeah.
Kind of, me, it's a little more fun.
Yeah. I really like that.
I get that. Yeah.
Because you're also going to get more known throughout the province, right? Like, that's one of the things that's kind of tough. I mean, again, the reason why I know a lot of people is because Delaware I know a lot of the names of Delaware because Delaware was televised. Well, not half these tracks, they're not televised, right? Well, most of these tracks, they're not televised. So, I mean, it's really hard to get to know. The reason why I knew your name and Cam's name was because you were going to different events. You were showing up and running different events. So, I mean, that's a great idea. I know, like, Chris Lawrence and BT Racing, they've talked about doing the same, where yes, they have a weekly series that they run out of, but maybe on their off week, they go and run at another racetrack or go and run one of their cars at another. I think Phil Gibbons ran at Peterborough a couple of times in the zero car. So, like, they use an extension and run elsewhere. Obviously, we've talked about this in racing as a whole has gone through a really tough couple of years, obviously, with COVID. And the last couple of years, though, I thought we were going to see really big drop-offs. And in some tracks, that's absolutely true. Mini stocks, bone stocks, super stocks, late models. Some of these tracks, you're getting barely 5 cars. I mean, that is really tough.
You look at Autumn Colors, there's 40 something mini stocks.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my question there then, Alex. So why is it that we are able to do that? Is it that comes down to a payout, I would assume?
Not really. Peterborough isn't really the best payout.
So there's the hot topic. It's like The View. What is the hot topic right now? Really, it is. Cam, I'm curious. Again, we talked about, like, this payout situation. Is it something like, I would love to see Autumn Colors get a televised, like, even like a G-Force, because something like that, now it was bloody cold out in the stands. I've not been out for a race before that late in the season, so I was not prepared.
Clearly, you haven't seen where it snowed the one year at Autumn Colors.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope, I definitely didn't. But obviously that being just G-Force is really the best option right now for those type of events. But you guys got to be on G-Force for a couple of events too, right? Because they went to the APC at Flamborough. And is there a different energy at the racetrack when you know you've got cameras there?
It's kind of you should probably do good because there's a lot of eyes watching, but as soon as you think about it too much, that's when you mess up. And it's like, well, just messed up in front of all those eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you also got people like Wade, you flip the car on the only weekend it's not televised.
Those Facebook lines, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, mine was a phone call, and I just thought my friends were messing with me. And then I started getting Snapchats of my car upside down. And I'm like, oh, it's really upside down.
Yeah. I mean, so what do you do when you get that message there, Alex?
I bought Wade a beer the next day. That was my sister's wedding.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I mean, you guys drive. I guess it's Wade Thorne is your team, right?
Yep,
kind of.
So how'd you get into working with Wade? We'll start with Alex.
So a couple of years back, I started helping Carson Nagy, and back when I was helping Carson, his cousin was dating Wade, I think, and then that winter, Wade was kind of like he was trying to ask for help without asking for help. It's one of those guys that will refuse to ask for help, so you just kind of got to go there and help him. Yeah, so that's how I started helping Wade, and then got Mazda from him, and then I bought this Cavalier off of him. So.
Cam, what about you?
I think I messaged him like last September trying to get a car because technically I did my first race last June and I was just like trying to get back at it because I had so much fun. So I messaged him and we were trying to work something out, and I think he pulled a car in like mid-September, tried to get that ready, but it was just a complete rust bucket. So we called her quits for that year and just kind of focused on this year. But he just kind of reached out and was like, hey, I know you're trying to get into racing. Like, I'm trying to provide cars. So, like, you want to try something? And we tried something and it worked.
The Echo.
Oh, the good old Echo. I forgot about last October. Wade put me in his Echo for Frostfest and almost made the field. I was about 3 cars out in a Toyota Echo Enduro car.
And we got the most famous photo of me and Cam, of Cam flipping me off in the corner.
That's what happened.
Oh my god!
I love it because we got to experience this. We got to be at the racetrack a couple of times last year, right? Great. We only made a couple of races across on Ontario and in Quebec, but it's interesting. The perspective that we've both gained. I mean, we started this podcast, and when we originally started, do you remember, Graydon, what we were planning on focusing on?
Yeah, that's what I was going to comment on. Is that, our direction was we're going to talk all about the Pinty series and the Truck series and Xfinity series and stuff like that, and it's just sort of organically grown to what it is now, and really from what we've seen both through G-Force and Rogers TV at Delaware, and then just from us going to the tracks is seeing the true grassroots level, like what you guys go out there and do week in and week out in racing season. And as we were talking about before we went on, this time of year just kind of drags on because the one season just ends and we're longing for the next one to start. What are your goals for next year, boys? Let's start with Alex.
Well, as you guys know, that I'm planning on going to every track in Ontario throughout the whole season. Hopefully have try to make like a secondary schedule so that some people can take like one weekend a month off to come with us to a different track and try it out.
Nice.
I hope to get a couple wins, but as long as the car comes back in one piece more than once, I'll be happy.
Yeah, if you're wearing the ownership hat, you got to wear a couple of, or think with a couple of different mindsets where you want to get all the positions you can, but you want to turn the car around and be able to make the next race too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, my goals for 2023, I'm just trying to race as much as possible. I'm also trying to get in as many cars as possible. Like last year, I drove bone stocks, my Thunder car, a mini stock Peterborough, a sprint car at the end of the year. Like, just trying to get back into that. I love it, but the main goal, race spear stock as much as possible because it's cheap and it's fun and the car's competitive. But it's also trying to find me a sprint car ride because that was more fun than the pier stock. But man, it's that expensive.
Yeah, it costs a lot to go fast in those cars for sure, right?
Way too much.
Yeah. I share kind of that the mindset of, like, although at extremely different levels and different times in our lives for sure, but I mean, where you just want to get in and just feel the different kinds of speed and different kinds of cars, and it's a hell of a lot of fun to wear your smiling muscles out by just like driving around a track and feeling what the car has underneath you.
Yeah, and like I gotta say, the biggest help in the pier stock was driving my street stock. You're going so much faster, not being able to see 2 feet in front of you, and you're out there with 28 other cars. So
that's neat too, where you can take something that maybe you've already run, like a completely different discipline, where you're just like, oh, that's kind of like what I was doing in whatever car, and then it applies and helps you build to be just kind of better all around.
Yeah, and like my biggest help in the sprint car at the end of the year was iRacing, to be honest with you. Like, never stepped foot, but I've been iRacing with them for years, and that's what I've loved, and that's a goal. So I got in it and was like, you know what? If I want to do this, I got to do it right. So mash your right foot and don't think.
That's a good gig for our buddy there, TJ at Valhalla Mobile, too, where you can provide that sort of environment too.
That is first ever live event, and I glad to say I took that one home from the B main. I up, raced from there in Turkey, fed him some doors, and just kind of fell too far back. But
that's awesome. I had to do a little segue there, a little plug for TJ there, because I know he's been building this thing for a while. It's cool to see that happen for him.
It's honestly awesome to see it finally taking off. It's about time, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a great gig for this time of year, and even in racing season. Like when we were down at Oswego for the NASCAR week, TJ set up there and just getting fans engaged and racers like you guys too, getting in there and getting part of it, even whether it's race season or not. It keeps the skills sharp, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Well, you get into much virtual racing, Alex? I was just going to say, you might have a steering wheel there.
Yeah, I kind of just blew off the dust off of it today. I haven't used it for like a year.
It's a very familiar looking wheel.
What?
Just showing off for us, Alex?
I'm just too lazy to take it off my desk.
Like Boltzmann, come on.
Well, I guess you need to compare. Cam, what's Valhalla Mobile's rig setup compared to what we see?
Well, he has one rig that is identical wheel to that, and then he has another rig which is a Fanatic wheel and Fanatic pedals, which is like, but you feel the difference.
I'll be honest with you, I've never done iRacing, not once, but I mean, I'm not a racer. I'm a talker. I can commentate about race cars going fast, but you guys are nuts, and I love it. I absolutely love it. You guys put on a hell of a show out there, and you know what? One thing we are really happy to announce here on the show tonight is that Cam Thomson and Alex Stewart are both going to be part of the SNS roster for full season. in 2023. We were only able to get on Alex's car for ACC, and we weren't
start
able to get on Cam's until after the ACC race was finished. But we're excited because we're out there with our buddy Jomo, and he's been the idea man. He came up with this concept last year, and we love it. It is the coolest thing out there. So thank you guys for continuing to do what you guys do, repping Jomo and now repping us as well. It's awesome. And if we can help at any point to just get more eyes on racers like you guys, and by having you guys on, I mean, just chatting when we were at the racetrack at ACC, it was a lot of fun chatting with you guys, and having Colton Everingham shout expletives while you're trying to conduct an interview is not an easy thing. But it was absolutely fantastic. You guys handled it like
such a low-key guy.
He gave it right. This Alex Stewart kid here, he just gave it right back to Colton, even though Colton could squash him like a bug.
Yeah, Colton could throw me across the track if he wanted to.
No, that's awesome. Piping up. Who cares how big they are?
Throw me across the racetrack. Let's be honest.
Yeah. That's a whole lot of Nomex for a fire suit. I'll tell you that.
Well, that's the thing I love is you guys got all sorts of people that are racing in those divisions, right? People come back and run them because they must be a lot of fun, right? You guys aren't just doing it, because you hate it. It's obviously it's fun. It's for racing. But one thing we're going to do is we're going to allow you guys the opportunity to thank your sponsors for this year, whoever's been on your race car, whoever helps you out on your crew. So we'll start with Alex this time around. Alex, you just give your shout outs for this year. And then, of course, I think you want to plug your paint scheme for this year about to be decided, I believe.
Oh, yeah. As of right now, the paint scheme's close between the Ellen Quickie Hooters car, I think, and the Kellogg's car. I think those two are tied right now.
Yeah. Let's go. Terry Labonte all the way.
One. I like the Kellogg's one, but I think if the Hooters one wins, I'm going to try to get Hooters to sponsor me.
Nice.
You know what that means, folks?
Chicken wings?
Yes.
Chicken wings?
Now, obviously, you can't say that, though, Alex, because you're wearing a Pinty's hat, so...
Yeah, I guess so.
Didn't think that far ahead, did we?
Yeah, no, we didn't. That was not good forethought. Hooters girls.
Just staple.
Yeah, I don't think my girlfriend likes that one.
Okay, I'm striking out left and right here.
Yeah, but for us, for like some of us that don't have to worry about that, I'm all cool with that. Who do you want to think?
The black Hooters car or the white Hooters base, though?
It'll be the white one, I think.
There.
Well, I mean,
get back on track here.
Out really good. So
yeah,
the Russ Wheeler one was really, really nice. Even, I loved how you did the
stripes and
sideways and everything, just like the car. Yeah. So who was it that helped you out at the racetrack this year? Sponsors and crew.
So of course I've got to thank Thorn Racing for help building most of that car, and then after I got it back home, I got to thank Global Racing because they've helped me out all season, gave me a place to store the car, well now cars, and got to thank the Hammer, Tailed Cut, CM Precision, Driving with Haley, Jomo Media, you guys. What is it? Oh, Murph's Auto Detailing.
Perfect. Always remembering is half the battle, is it not?
Oh, it's terrible.
Especially after 40 laps and no power steering.
Yeah, exactly. You got the pressure on. We're like, who you got to thank? Oh,
yeah,
God.
We didn't actually get to this, Cam, but you also flagman for quite a bit of time. So what's more work on the arms? Is it driving the cars or is it the flagging? Because, man, the carpal tunnel, geez.
The carpal tunnel is bad, but I got to say driving like a Thunderstock and a sprint car is definitely more challenging than flagging, but a pure stock to flagging, luckily I have power steering, so I got to give flagging to the pure stock.
There we go. Who did you want to thank for helping you out this year on your race car?
Oh man, I got a laundry list of these people. First off, got to thank Wade and Mark Thorne for all their help this year. Fabio Oliveri for his help. Aaron Dinning, all my sponsors. Driving with Haley, you guys, Jomo Media, Reliable Roofing, Jimmy Small Engine, Level Up, Retail Design Group. I don't know if I said Driving with Haley yet, but Driving with Haley.
That was the first one he said, but that's cool. Yeah. Haley, we got you.
I will mention. And, my good old teammate Alex Stewart for not junking my shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, what happens if you guys do wreck each other? Then what? Who wins the fight?
Gloves are coming off.
It's going to be an all-out brawl.
And a helmet might be thrown.
There you go.
Oh, okay. So we talking
full-on Daytona infield fight.
No, man, we got to go. You got to be like Cole Custer and Nemechek at CTMP, right?
Oh, there you go.
Full on gut check, right?
Or a Kevin Harvick over top of the car.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's go classic like 2002. I
just
like
explode out of the car like a Tasmanian devil.
I like it. Hold him right by the scruff, and then I can scream in his face. Yeah.
Damn, I love me a fiery Harvick.
Yeah, Cam, please don't do that. My fire suit's going to be expensive.
Yeah, there you go. Always got to think like the owner, right? Don't mess my shit up.
Well, if Cam's got any of that Donnie Thompson energy when Don was mad, oh boy.
It does sometimes.
Yeah, can't imagine, but we want to make sure you guys are having a great year. Next year we'll continue to report on it. Cam Thomson and Alex Stewart here on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Make sure you guys follow them all on social media. Definitely appreciate you guys coming on the show. We'll catch you guys all next time.